The hidden power of focus. Success is rarely about doing everything. More often, it's about doing the right thing and giving it your full attention. Yet, in a world filled with distractions, focus has become one of the rarest and most valuable skills. Think of a magnifying glass. When sunlight is scattered, it warms but changes nothing. But when concentrated through the lens, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. Your mind works the same way. Scattered attention creates busy days without progress. Focused attention creates results that change your life. Most people are not stuck because they lack intelligence, talent, or ambition. They're stuck because their energy is divided into too many directions. They chase dozens of goals, answer every notification, say yes to everything, and wonder why success feels unreachable. The truth is simple. Success doesn't belong to those who are busy. It belongs to those who are focused. Focus is not just about productivity. It is about clarity. It means knowing what matters most, eliminating what doesn't, and dedicating your energy where it truly counts. When you learn to master focus, you create more in 1 year than most do in 10. In this journey, you will discover why focus is the real currency of achievement, why distractions are the greatest thieves of modern life, and how to train your mind to hold attention like a laser. You will learn how world-class performers, from athletes to entrepreneurs, use deep focus to reach extraordinary results. But more importantly, you will see how focus transforms ordinary lives. You don't need perfect circumstances or unlimited talent. You need the discipline to direct your attention toward what matters and keep it there long enough for progress to grow. Focus is not magic. It's a habit. It's a skill. And it's one that anyone can learn. Welcome to Learn About Focus. Why success belongs to the focused. Why most people struggle with focus. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to improve their life. Yet very few people ever reach their full potential. It is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities. It is because they lack focus. In today's world, distraction has become the default state of the human mind. The age of scattered attention. For thousands of years, human beings lived in environments where survival required sharp attention. A rustle in the bushes could mean danger. A single mistake while hunting or farming could mean hunger. Focus was natural, life demanded it. But the modern world is different. We live in an age of abundance, not scarcity. Information is everywhere. Technology offers endless entertainment. Our phones provide constant stimulation, notifications, and noise. Instead of focusing on one thing deeply, most people live in a state of constant partial attention. Their minds jump from task to task, message to message, idea to idea. This fragmentation feels busy but produces little. At the end of the day, people are exhausted, not from doing too much, but from switching focus 1,000 times without ever going deep. The myth of multitasking. One of the greatest lies of modern life is the idea that multitasking makes us productive. In reality, the human brain is not built for true multitasking. What we call multitasking is simply rapid task switching. Each time the brain switches, it burns energy and loses momentum. Research shows that multitasking can lower productivity by up to 40% and increase mistakes. Yet most people continue to juggle multiple things at once, answering emails while on calls, scrolling while eating, watching videos while working. Instead of saving time, they waste it. Instead of gaining clarity, they lose it. Multitasking is not efficiency. It is self-sabotage disguised as progress. The hidden cost of distractions. Every distraction carries a price. A single notification may take seconds to check, but the brain needs minutes to refocus afterward. Multiply this by dozens of interruptions, and hours of focus are lost each day. But the cost is not only time, it is also depth. Great achievements require immersion. A writer needs hours of flow to create a book. An athlete needs uninterrupted training to reach mastery. An entrepreneur needs deep concentration to build strategy. When focus is stolen by distractions, greatness becomes impossible. Distraction also creates stress. When the mind is pulled in 10 directions at once, the nervous system stays in a constant state of alert. People feel anxious, restless, and unsatisfied. Even when they achieve something, it feels incomplete because their energy was divided. Why people avoid focus? Here's the paradox. People say they want focus, yet they avoid it. Why? Because true focus feels uncomfortable at first. It means saying no to distractions, ignoring easy pleasures, and facing the hard work that success requires. Focus forces you to confront your priorities. Focus demands discipline. Focus removes the illusion of busyness and shows whether you are truly progressing. Many prefer distraction because it numbs them. Checking the phone, watching endless videos, scrolling, these are escapes from discomfort. Focus, however, requires presence. It requires staying with one thing long enough to feel resistance, boredom, and difficulty, and pushing through anyway. The emotional trap of scattered living. Most people believe their problem is lack of time. In truth, their problem is lack of focus. Time is equal for everyone. What separates those who achieve from those who don't is not hours, but attention. The scattered person feels like a hamster on a wheel, running fast, but going nowhere. Their goals stay unfinished, their dreams delayed, their days filled with noise, but empty of meaning. Over time, this leads to frustration, regret, and even a belief that success is impossible. But the truth is, success is not out of reach. It is simply hidden behind the wall of distraction. The first step to clarity. To understand why most people struggle with focus is to understand the nature of the mind. The brain is like a wild horse. It will run in every direction unless trained. Left alone, it seeks novelty, stimulation, and easy rewards. But with discipline, it can be guided, strengthened, and directed toward incredible results. The first step, then, is awareness. You must see distractions not as harmless entertainment, but as thieves of your future. You must recognize that every moment of scattered attention is energy stolen from what matters most. Only then can you begin to reclaim focus. A story to remember. A young man once asked a wise teacher why he could not achieve his dreams. "I try," he said. "I work hard, but I fail." "Why?" The teacher gave him a simple task. "Go to the river, fill this basket with water, and bring it back to me." The man tried, but each time the water leaked out through the holes. Frustrated, he returned empty-handed. The teacher then handed him a clay pot. "Now try again." The man filled it easily and brought the water back. The teacher smiled. "Your mind is like the basket. Too many holes. Too many distractions. You cannot hold success that way." Focus is the clay pot. It allows you to carry your energy, your effort, and your dreams without losing them. This is why most people struggle with focus, not because they are weak or lazy, but because they have not learned to guard their attention. The good news is that focus is not a gift, it is a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained. Gemstone Block 2, focus as the currency of success. In every era, success has been determined by what is most scarce. In ancient times, survival depended on food and strength. In industrial times, success belonged to those with access to machines and factories. Today, in the age of information, the rarest resource is not knowledge, not money, not talent, it is focus. Knowledge is abundant. The internet gives us free access to more wisdom than entire generations before us could ever dream of. Talent is everywhere. Millions of people are gifted in music, science, art, and business. Money, though not equally distributed, flows constantly in global systems. But focus, true, deep, sustained attention is rare. And because it is rare, it is valuable. Why focus is the new wealth. Imagine two people starting with the same abilities and resources. One scatters his energy across 10 projects, 20 distractions, endless entertainment. The other concentrates his mind on one clear goal. 10 years later, the difference is astonishing. One has fragments of unfinished efforts. The other has mastery, results, and success. Focus multiplies effort. Without focus, work is diluted. With focus, every action compounds, like interest in a bank. Success is not about doing more. It is about directing energy where it matters most. The law of focus, what you water grows. Your attention is like water. Whatever you pour it into will grow. If you pour it into fears, they expand. If you pour it into distractions, they consume you. But if you pour it into your vision, your skills, and your purpose, they flourish. This is why successful people are ruthless with their focus. They protect it, guard it, and direct it carefully. They know that every distraction steals energy from their vision. They treat focus as currency, spend it wisely, and you build wealth, waste it, and you stay poor. Focus in business and achievement. Look at the greatest companies of our time. Apple became a giant not by making everything, but by focusing on a few products and making them extraordinary. Steve Jobs once said, "Focus is about saying no." The same applies to individuals. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian, swam competitively for decades focusing only on one sport. While others experimented with many things, he built mastery through relentless focus. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, often advises, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything." What he means is simple. Wealth is built not by scattering attention, but by concentrating it. The illusion of busyness versus the reality of focus. Many confuse being busy with being productive. They fill their calendars, rush from task to task, and feel important. But busyness is not wealth, it is noise. True productivity, true success, comes from focused action. Busyness is like running in circles. Focus is like walking steadily in one direction. One exhausts you, the other brings you closer to your goal. Focus as freedom. Some think focus is restrictive, like wearing blinders. In reality, focus is freedom. When you choose what truly matters and block out the rest, you free yourself from chaos. You no longer live reacting to every distraction. You live with intention. Focus frees you from comparison because you stop chasing what others are doing and concentrate on your path. Focus frees you from regret because every day you move closer to your vision. Focus frees you from stress because clarity replaces confusion. The compounding effect of focus. Consider this. If you improve at something by just 1% a day, focus ensures that growth compounds into massive change over time. Without focus, improvement is scattered and forgotten. With focus, improvement stacks upon itself, creating exponential progress. This is why focus is the currency of success. It is the one skill that transforms effort into achievement, potential into results, dreams into reality. A story to remember. Two lumberjacks entered a competition to see who could cut more trees in one day. One worked nonstop, swinging his axe without rest. The other stopped every hour to sharpen his blade. By evening, the second lumberjack had cut far more trees. The first, exhausted and confused, asked, "How did you beat me when you took so many breaks?" The second replied, "I wasn't resting. I was focusing on the sharpest tool." Focus is the sharpening of your life's blade. Without it, you can work endlessly and achieve little. With it, you achieve more in less time. Focus is not just a tool, it is the currency of the modern world. Spend it carelessly, and life slips away in distractions. Spend it wisely, and success is inevitable. The enemies of focus: distractions and noise. If focus is the currency of success, then distractions are the silent thieves. They steal your energy, your clarity, and your time, often without you realizing it. Many people blame lack of resources, opportunities, or luck for their failures. In truth, the greatest enemy of success is often not outside circumstances, but the constant noise that scatters the mind. The age of endless interruptions. We live in the noisiest era of human history. Never before have people carried in their pocket a device capable of delivering thousands of interruptions each day. Phones buzz, apps ping, emails demand attention, and notifications never stop. This constant stimulation has rewired the human brain. What once valued deep focus now craves quick hits of novelty. Scientists call this the dopamine loop, a cycle where every small distraction releases a tiny burst of pleasure, tricking the brain into craving more. Instead of focusing deeply, people become addicted to shallow rewards. The cost is enormous. A distracted mind cannot build mastery, cannot sustain creativity, and cannot achieve greatness. The illusion of harmless distraction. Distractions seem small. A quick glance at your phone, a few minutes on social media, a fast reply to a message. But each one breaks concentration. Studies show it takes the brain up to 23 minutes to regain deep focus after an interruption. Even if the distraction lasts only 30 seconds, the true cost is much higher. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece, forced to pause every few minutes. The flow is broken, the vision interrupted, the craft weakened. This is what daily distractions do to your life's work. External distractions. The most obvious enemies of focus come from the outside: digital noise, social media, endless news, streaming, notifications. Environmental noise, constant chatter, loud surroundings, messy workspaces. People, colleagues, friends, or family who interrupt without respect for your attention. These forces chip away at your concentration until little remains. Internal distractions. But external noise is not the only enemy. Internal distractions are even more dangerous because they come from within: overthinking, replaying past mistakes, or worrying about the future. Lack of clarity, trying to do too many things at once because priorities are unclear. Emotional noise, stress, anger, fear, or boredom pulling your mind away from the task at hand. External distractions can be turned off with a button. Internal distractions require training of the mind. Why the brain loves noise. If focus is so powerful, why does the brain resist it? Because focus is hard. It requires effort, patience, and discipline. Distraction is easy. It offers instant relief, escape, and stimulation. The brain, left untrained, always chooses the path of least resistance. It prefers a short dopamine hit from scrolling rather than the long, quiet discipline of building mastery. That is why greatness is rare, because few people choose focus over noise. Building defense against distractions. To win the battle for focus, you must build defenses. Here are practical strategies. Control your environment. A clean desk, a quiet space, and a distraction-free phone create conditions for clarity. Set boundaries. Protect your focus hours. Communicate clearly to others when you are unavailable. Single tasking. Train your mind to do one thing at a time fully. When you eat, just eat. When you work, just work. Mind training. Meditation, breathing, and reflection strengthen the ability to notice when your mind drifts and gently return it. Eliminate triggers. Identify what tempts you most: apps, websites, people, and design your life to reduce their pull. The hidden danger of small leaks. Ships rarely sink because of one giant hole. They sink because of many small leaks ignored over time. Focus works the same way. You don't lose it all at once. You lose it through 1,000 small distractions that seem harmless, until one day you realize years have passed with little progress. Guard your mind as you would guard treasure. Every distraction tolerated is a leak in your ship. Every moment of focus protected is another mile toward your destination. A story to remember. A wise man once tried to meditate under a tree, but children nearby played loudly. Angry, he told them to be quiet. When they left, he noticed his own thoughts were still noisy: worries, desires, memories. He realized noise outside is not the true problem. Noise inside is. The same is true for all of us. Silence around you means nothing if there is chaos within. The real battle for focus is not only against external distractions, but against the restless mind itself. Distractions and noise are the third enemy to overcome in your journey. They appear small, but steal more than anything else: your time, your clarity, your future. The focused learn to defend against them. The unfocused are consumed by them, training the muscle of attention. Focus is not a gift that some people are born with and others are not. Focus is a muscle. Like any muscle, it grows stronger with training and weaker with neglect. The mistake many people make is thinking focus should be effortless. They expect to concentrate naturally in a world full of distractions. But just as you wouldn't walk into a gym for the first time and expect to lift heavy weights, you cannot expect a distracted mind to instantly hold attention for long periods. Focus must be built, rep by rep, day by day. The science of attention. Your brain has two key systems that control attention. The automatic system, fast, reactive, always scanning for novelty or danger. It is why you notice a phone buzz instantly, even when you're working. The deliberate system, slow, intentional, capable of deep concentration. This system requires energy and practice. Most people live almost entirely in the automatic system, constantly reacting. Training focus means strengthening the deliberate system, teaching your brain to choose attention instead of surrendering it. Attention as mental fitness. Think of focus like fitness. A person who never exercises feels tired after a short walk. A person who trains regularly can run miles without exhaustion. The same with the mind. An untrained mind struggles to read even a few pages without drifting. A trained mind can work for hours with full concentration. The difference is not intelligence. It is training. Training practices for focus. There are practical ways to build attention, just as you build strength. Pomodoro technique. Work in focused bursts, 25 to 50 minutes, followed by short breaks. This trains your mind to concentrate fully, then recover. Single task commitment. Choose one task and commit to finishing it before starting another. This builds endurance for deep work. Gradual stretching. Start with 10 minutes of deep focus a day and expand it, like adding weight to a barbell. Mindfulness meditation. Sit quietly and return your attention to the breath whenever the mind wanders. This is like a push-up for attention. Reading practice. Read a book without checking your phone. Notice when your mind drifts and gently bring it back. Each exercise is small, but together they train the brain to stay present. The role of discipline. Training focus is less about intensity and more about consistency. 5 minutes of daily meditation is better than 1 hour once a month. A steady practice of choosing attention builds mental stamina over time. Discipline also means eliminating mental junk food. Just as athletes avoid unhealthy diets, those who train attention must reduce endless scrolling, shallow entertainment, and multitasking. These weaken the focus muscle. Building flow. The ultimate level of focus is called flow, a state where time disappears, the mind is fully absorbed, and work feels effortless. Flow does not come by accident, it is trained. By practicing attention, you create the conditions where flow can happen more often. Athletes call it the zone. Writers call it inspiration. Scientists call it optimal experience. Whatever the name, it is the reward of a trained mind. A story to remember. A young monk was asked to meditate for 1 hour. After 5 minutes, his mind wandered. Frustrated, he gave up. The master told him, "You cannot expect a wild horse to stay still the first time you tie it. Each day, you must bring it back. Over time, it will learn." The monk tried again, every day. At first, it was 5 minutes, then 10, then 30. Months later, he could sit for hours in silence. The wild horse of his mind had become calm and strong. The lesson, your attention is that horse. The more you train it, the more it obeys. Focus is not luck. It is training. Every moment you resist distraction, every time you bring your mind back, you add strength to your muscle of attention. And just like the body, the stronger the muscle, the greater the power. Deep work, the secret weapon of high achievers. In a world drowning in distraction, deep work has become a superpower. Most people live in shallow attention, jumping between messages, news, tasks, and endless scrolling. They stay busy but produce little of value. High achievers, however, play a different game. They master the art of deep, undisturbed focus. That is why they create results others cannot even imagine. What is deep work? Author Cal Newport defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. In simple terms, deep work is when you give one demanding task your full attention for long periods, without interruption. It is the difference between checking emails for 3 hours and writing a chapter of a book in the same time. One leaves you feeling busy but empty. The other creates lasting value. Why deep work matters. Deep work is where mastery happens. Complex problems, creative breakthroughs, and real progress require immersion. You cannot solve difficult challenges with scattered attention. You need time, space, and full focus. Shallow work keeps you afloat. Deep work takes you forward. Without it, you remain in the cycle of noise. With it, you break through to excellence. The rare advantage. Because most people are addicted to distraction, deep work is rare. And in economics, rarity creates value. Those who can focus deeply on hard problems become leaders in their field. They rise above competitors not by working more hours, but by working with more intensity. Deep work creates leverage. 1 hour of deep concentration can produce more results than 10 hours of scattered effort. This is why top performers guard their focus fiercely. They know its worth. How to practice deep work. Schedule it. Block out time in your calendar for focused work. Treat it as sacred as a meeting. Create rituals. Work in the same place, with the same setup, to train your brain that this is focus time. Eliminate distractions. Turn off notifications. Close tabs. Silence your phone. Protect the fortress of your mind. Set clear goals. Don't just work. Decide, I will finish this section, or I will solve this problem. Measure time in depth, not hours. Ask not, how long did I work, but how long did I work deeply? The challenge of boredom. One reason people avoid deep work is boredom. The mind craves stimulation, and silence feels uncomfortable. But boredom is not the enemy, it is the doorway to depth. By training yourself to sit through the initial discomfort, you enter the zone of flow. This is why deep work feels almost magical. Once immersed, hours pass like minutes, and the quality of output rises beyond ordinary. Deep work in history. Isaac Newton spent months in near isolation, developing the foundations of modern physics. J.K. Rowling wrote much of Harry Potter by locking herself away in quiet places without distractions. Bill Gates is known for his Think Weeks, where he isolates himself with books and problems to solve. Greatness rarely happens in noise. It is born in silence and focus. A story to remember. A blacksmith was once asked how he forged such strong swords. He replied, I heat the metal until it glows, and I strike it again and again without distraction. If I look away, the fire cools and the sword weakens. Your mind is the same. When you hold attention on one problem, your thoughts heat up, ideas connect, and breakthroughs happen. If you keep looking away, the fire dies and your work remains weak. Deep work is the fifth pillar of focus. It is the secret weapon of those who rise above average. In a world where most people skim the surface, the few who go deep create results that echo far into the future. Focus and habits. How daily routines build mastery. Focus is not a one-time act. It is not something you summon once in a while when life feels chaotic. Focus becomes powerful only when it is woven into the fabric of your daily habits. Just as a river carves valleys through steady flow, not sudden floods, mastery is built by consistent routines that align attention with purpose. Why habits matter for focus. Willpower is limited. You cannot rely on motivation alone to stay focused. Some days you feel strong, other days tired and distracted. Habits solve this problem. They automate discipline. When focus becomes a routine, you no longer debate whether to work, you simply show up. Habits remove decision fatigue. Instead of wasting mental energy on, should I do this now? The habit answers for you, yes, this is what I always do. This frees up attention for the work itself. The structure of focused routines. Great achievers often design their entire day around protecting focus. They build routines that create clarity and momentum. Common patterns include morning rituals, starting the day with silence, journaling, or exercise to set the mind in order. Focus blocks, scheduled periods where only one important task receives attention. Break rhythms, short pauses to reset energy and prevent burnout. Evening rituals, reflection and planning to close the day with clarity and prepare for tomorrow. These habits form a cycle. Each day is not random, but structured to protect the mind's most precious resource, attention. Micro habits that strengthen focus. Focus doesn't always require big rituals. Small, consistent actions compound over time. Put your phone in another room while working. Write down the top 3 priorities each morning. Review your progress at night in 5 minutes. Start tasks with a short breathing exercise. Celebrate finishing without checking for instant rewards. Each micro habit reinforces the message, this is what I do. I focus. Habits build identity. The most powerful effect of habits is identity. When you consistently act with focus, you begin to see yourself as a focused person. This self-image creates momentum. Instead of struggling to concentrate, you act naturally because it is who you are. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, said, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become." Focused habits are votes for a focused life. The compounding effect of routines. One day of focus may not change your life, but 1 year of focused habits transforms everything. Skills grow. Projects complete. Confidence rises. Opportunities appear. The unfocused person wonders why they are stuck. The focused person quietly compounds results day after day until mastery is inevitable. A story to remember. A Japanese craftsman was once asked how he became a master of his art. He answered, "I did not aim for mastery. I aimed for daily practice. Mastery came as a side effect." The same is true for focus. You don't need to chase perfection. You need to practice daily routines that direct your attention where it matters. Over time, mastery will follow. Focus without habits is fragile. Focus with habits becomes unshakable. The sixth pillar of success is learning to build daily routines that make concentration your default state, not a rare exception. The emotional side of focus, resilience and patience. Focus is not only about mental sharpness. It is also about emotional strength. You can have the best techniques, the most disciplined habits, and the clearest goals, but without resilience and patience, your focus will not last. Great achievements are never built in a day. They require time, persistence, and the ability to keep going when progress feels slow. Why emotions matter for focus. The human mind does not operate in isolation. Thoughts and emotions are deeply connected. When emotions spiral, anger, stress, fear, doubt, focus dissolves. Distraction is not only external, it is also emotional. A single negative thought can pull attention away as effectively as a phone notification. Resilience is the ability to return to focus despite emotional storms. Patience is the willingness to stay with the process even when results take time. Together, they form the emotional foundation of sustained concentration. The challenge of delayed results. One of the greatest enemies of focus is impatience. People start a project with enthusiasm, but when results do not appear quickly, they quit or switch to something new. They scatter their energy across many beginnings and finish nothing. But mastery requires long horizons. Musicians practice for years before performing beautifully. Athletes train for decades for moments of victory. Entrepreneurs build through countless failures before success arrives. Without patience, focus cannot survive. Resilience, the art of returning. Even the most disciplined mind will wander. Even the strongest person will face setbacks. Resilience does not mean never losing focus. It means returning again and again, no matter how many times you fall. Every time you bring your attention back to the task, you strengthen resilience. Every time you continue after a setback, you train your emotional endurance. This is how great lives are built, not through perfection, but through persistence. Training emotional focus. Accept imperfection. Understand that losing focus is natural. The key is not to avoid it entirely, but to recover quickly. Reframe setbacks. Instead of "I failed," think "I learned." Each setback is data, not defeat. Practice patience. Remind yourself that great results grow slowly, like trees. Trust the process. Control self-talk. Replace negative inner voices with supportive ones. The way you speak to yourself shapes your focus. Celebrate small wins. Recognize progress, however small. This fuels motivation and keeps attention alive. The emotional cost of quitting. Quitting feels easier in the moment, but it carries a hidden cost, regret. People often regret not sticking with what mattered more than they regret trying and failing. Focus is sustained not just by discipline, but by remembering the pain of giving up too soon. A story to remember. A bamboo tree takes years before it shows any growth above ground. During those years, it is building roots deep into the earth. To outsiders, it looks like nothing is happening. But when the roots are ready, the bamboo shoots up rapidly, growing meters in just weeks. Life is the same. Focus often feels fruitless at first, but unseen foundations are being built. Those who give up never see the growth. Those who persist are rewarded with sudden, extraordinary progress. The seventh pillar of focus is emotional, resilience, and patience. Techniques guide attention, but emotions sustain it. Without patience, focus fades. With it, you carry the strength to stay the course until success arrives. Living a focused life, turning dreams into reality plus conclusion. Focus is not only a tool for work, it is a way of life. When you learn to direct your attention with clarity, every area of your life transforms: your career, your relationships, your health, and your sense of purpose. Focus is not about restriction. It is about liberation. By choosing where to place your energy, you free yourself from chaos and take control of your destiny. A life built on clarity. Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances, pulled in every direction by distractions. They live according to other people's demands, social media trends, or temporary pleasures. Their dreams remain vague, and their energy is scattered. A focused life is different. It begins with clarity of vision, knowing what truly matters to you, and then aligning daily actions with that vision. Each day becomes a step forward, not a random shuffle. Each choice is deliberate, not accidental. The ripple effect of focus: when you live with focus, work becomes deeper. You create results of higher quality in less time. Relationships grow stronger. Presence replaces distraction, and people feel truly seen. Health improves. Focus helps you resist unhealthy habits and build routines that energize you. Inner peace grows. By eliminating noise, you reduce stress and live with calm. Focus is not only about achieving success, it is about living fully, with intention and meaning. Dreams into reality: every dream begins as a thought. But thoughts alone are fragile. Without focus, they remain fantasies, endlessly postponed. With focus, they transform into action, progress, and reality. Consider any great achievement in history: scientific discoveries, works of art, technological innovations. Behind each was not just talent, but sustained focus. The dream became reality because someone held attention long enough to make it happen. Living a focused lifestyle: how do you make focus a permanent part of your life? Know your vision. Decide what matters most and write it down. Cut the noise. Remove distractions that do not serve your goals. Protect your time. Treat your focus hours as sacred. Build routines. Anchor your days in habits that support attention. Stay patient. Trust the process, even when progress feels slow. The ultimate truth of focused success does not belong to the busiest. It does not belong to the smartest. It does not even belong to the most talented. It belongs to the focused. Focus turns potential into results, effort into mastery, and dreams into achievements. It is the bridge between who you are and who you can become. A story to remember: a traveler once asked a master how to reach the top of a distant mountain. The master replied, "One step, taken again and again, always in the same direction." That is the essence of a focused life. Not rushing, not scattering, not chasing everything at once. Just steady, deliberate steps in the direction of your vision until one day you look back and realize you have climbed higher than you ever thought possible. Conclusion: you have now learned the 8 pillars of focus. Why most people struggle with focus. Focus as the true currency of success. The enemies of focus: distractions and noise. Training the muscle of attention. Deep work as the secret weapon. The role of habits and routines. The emotional side: resilience and patience. Living a focused life with clarity and intention. Each lesson is simple, but together they form a powerful system. Focus is not one skill among many. It is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, talent is wasted. With it, ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. The choice is yours. You can continue to scatter your attention and drift, or you can commit to focus and create, because in the end, success does not belong to everyone. It belongs to the focused.